Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tingling Tea. We are so sorry that we're running a little bit behind, but that's how it goes when you're like really crazy busy. And my apologies. I had to run into the city today and then run back here and start the show. But I want to thank you all for hanging in there for the extra 15 minutes. Here at the Tingling Tea, we talk about the strange and the supernatural, the creepy and the cryptid, the weird and the wonderful, and all that is phenomenally freaky. And without further ado, I'm going to bring in my host with the most, the one and only, the Augie, Eddie Peterson.
What's up? How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
SistaSlaya? I'm doing good.
I'm so glad you're doing well. So how's everything been?
Oh, it's a busy time of the year. Let me tell you, I start to think that, it's going to come up to Thanksgiving, Christmas. I could sort of look forward to some time off, time with family, all of that stuff. That is absolutely not what I get. I get for some reason, my calendar just fills up.
Right. You're never prepared for it. It's like really crazy.
Exactly. I'm busy all the time. I need a break.
And it surprises you. It just jumps in there just like out of nowhere. It just comes out of nowhere. You're totally not done your shopping or anything like that. You're cooking for the holiday.
And now they're telling us that supplies are limited, and we might not get turkeys for Thanksgiving. There's all kinds of rumors going on.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
I have my family saying, "Can you bring down a Thanksgiving turkey for us?" I'm like, really? They don't have turkey in Virginia?
Oh, and all things. So then expect the toilet paper to be missing too. Then if we don't have any turkey, the toilet paper is going to just disappear out of nowhere. So let's go into, because we are running a little bit behind. Let's bring in our other host. He's been with us for the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's my host with the Apple Bites, part of the Bitten Apple TV's Apple Bites series that we do every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The one, the only, RIT.
It's time to unleash some mayhem. Oh, wait, it's not me. That's Mike. Sorry.
Yeah, Mike's not here with us this evening. He got stuck at work. So he's like a little, I feel for him. People are calling in. It's the holidays, so people are calling in sick, and
definitely
doing double duty right now. So
that's just it. It's the end of the year. You should be relaxing, but instead it's just manic.
Work. You've got to use up all your vacation time. I've got like a whole bunch of hours that I have not used up yet that I still have to use. So that's just six. But
I don't really pay attention to my vacation time. I just take it.
You just take it.
That's bad, right?
That's the best way to do it, bro. Just take it, because what ends up happening is that company goes, hey, you don't need to take your vacation. You don't take your vacation. Next thing you know, you're not even in the company anymore.
So you might as well use it.
Use it
strategically.
Use it or lose it. Yeah.
Use it strategically. Around the holidays, use it strategically.
I've learned to use it during the pandemic. I used to not do that, but now during the pandemic, I'm like all about, I need to take care of myself.
Yeah, you are so absolutely right about that. Well, you all, we have one of my favorite people in the world coming in to co-host with us this evening. He is going to get the Tingling Tea experience this evening, and he has a phenomenal Kickstarter that we're going to definitely talk about that closes in 19 hours. So we got to make that goal for him. But I want to bring him in. So just a little bit about our guest. He is a writer-creator of a comic series such as his series are usually like supernatural noir. But the one that we are specifically talking about this evening that has a phenomenal Kickstarter is the Tales of Mr. Rhee. And I'm not mystery, like not MYSTERY, but Mr. Rhee. Mr. Rhee.
Hello,
Mr. RHEE, yes. And the genre-bending horror anthology. What happened?
Oh, I'm talking to Ralph's daughter. Please continue.
Okay.
You're going up stage. Sorry.
What's going on with the talking? All right. So he has written several horror-themed comics, but the one that we really are trying to push tonight is the Tales of Mr. Rhee. The one and the only Mr. Dirk Manning.
Hello.
Hello. I have a mug.
Yes, you have a mug. Everyone cheers. He brought his mug.
Cheers.
Yes.
The Mystery mug, I might add.
That
Very
is
apropos.
right. That is Mr. Rhee's emblem that's on him, you all, that he was marked with.
I was wondering.
Story. Oh my gosh. Eddie, I'm telling you.
I know nothing. I know nothing about this. Can someone give me like a synopsis of Mr. Rhee?
Okay, so
why do I want to invest in this?
I'm going to hand it off to Dirk to tell you a little bit, but I'm going to put him in a solo layout so that we could find a little bit about Mr. Rhee. And then I'm going to tell you about Mr. Rhee from a fan perspective. Okay, so let's go ahead. Dirk.
No pressure. Hello, everyone. It's good to see you. So yeah, if you are just watching the podcast or the show, The Tingling Tea, and you are unfamiliar with Mr. Rhee, here's the skinny. The setup on the book is hell invaded Earth for 3 days, and there's monsters, demons, and all that stuff. And then it just stops. And people think to themselves, okay, that was pretty terrible, but it was 3 days. You know, we made it through. We can move on. And Mystery's a magician who knows there's still monsters and demons left. And the 3-day invasion was really just the first wave of what's actually coming next. Very noir. We're on volume 5 right now, which is on Kickstarter, as well as an omnibus reprinting the first 4 volumes, including volume 1 in full color. We are over 200% funded. We are about to unlock the 14th stretch goal with 19 hours left. But if you're like a Cthulhu, if you're in the mood like a Cthulhu noir style series, complex characters and dynamic situations, a lot of horror. This isn't a superhero book disguised as a horror book. This is straight up a horror book. 700 pages and counting, 5 volumes. Tales of Mystery. Go to talesofmystery.com. Tales, TALESMRRHEE.com. There it is, right there.
Yes.
How was that, sir?
That was a phenomenal. I loved it. And if anybody knows how to promote your stuff, it's you. Because
he does a great job. Yeah.
Dirk talked me out of $200 and something at Comic-Con. That's what y'all to know. Look, the only thing that Dirk didn't get was my underwear. That's
my God.
Because I'm telling you, I had to throw in everything. Thank God I had money. I had money to buy, but I came home with a stack of books, and I could not believe that I came home with a stack of books. What was so funny is that I had even bought a little lamp, you all. You know, like one of those little lamps that you put on your bed that has like a lamp so you don't disturb your partner. Like I don't disturb my husband. I bought a little lamp to read these stories, y'all.
And to be fair,
when I go to bed.
Yeah, to be fair, Les, you left with a stack.
Yes,
I mean, you were like,
that
you
book bag was heavy.
Everything, and you went wild. So
I did. I left with a stack of some really good material.
What was your husband's reaction when he saw this?
You know, he didn't say anything because he knew that I was coming there to buy. You know. But he didn't expect me to come back loaded like in 5 minutes. I was loaded down. Everything was in my bag. My bag broke at the end of the night. Because not only did I get comics, but I got hardcover books too.
Mm-hmm.
Which con was this?
This was Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con.
Okay.
Yeah.
New York, yeah.
New York, yeah.
You came in hot, and we hooked you up. We got you some really good stuff, though.
He really did. Some great stuff. He really did. And I got some stuff from Bob Sally, who I call John Sally, because I don't know. I was calling him John Sally for the longest.
Bob's been called worse. Don't worry.
I don't want to call Bob John. Because, I know him for so long. So I don't know why I called him John Sally. I don't know. We were doing an interview and I kept calling him John Sally. I was like, why am I calling him the basketball player's name? I just don't understand this. But anyway, let's talk about this Kickstarter because we really need to do a really hard press push on this. This is like the goal is getting there. It's getting there. And this closes in 19 hours. Now, let me tell you from the perspective of a fan, how much I love this book. As you all know, I am a huge fan of horror, any type of horror anthology, anything that's unique or rare. I have watched horror films since I was a little kid, and nothing really impresses me that much, I have to admit. It has to be really good. This book is really good. So I got I think it was volume 1 that I got, or 2.
Mhm.
I'm not quite familiar which one I've got. Now I probably have to go upstairs and get which ones I have. So I'm reading it, and there's a scene in there. There's a particular thing that happens in the story. I'm reading it, and I had to go back because I was like, what the hell did I just read? That's exactly what it was. And not in a bad way, y'all. I was like, what? This happened? Who thinks of this stuff?
I think it was in the first chapter too, wasn't it?
It was in the first chapter.
Uh-huh.
So, because it's a graphic, like, top novel, the picture is drawn. I had to go back and look at the picture and look really, really hard at the picture and go, oh my God. Oh, I don't believe that just happened in this book. My senses immediately jumped up because now I said, I'm going to be looking for all kinds of strange and weird in this book now, because that caught me so off guard. It caught me so off guard. And I was like, where does Dirk think? Where does that come from? Where does that come from? I would have never thought that in a million years. If I had written my own horror story, I would never have thought about that particular incident that occurred in the Tales of Mr. Rhee. It's really, really good. Really good.
So Dirk, how do you think of these things? What is your process?
Well, but when I started Tales of Mr. Rhee, at that point I was most known for my previous comic book series, Nightmare World, which was an anthology of 52 standalone stories, each one a different genre of horror. But as you read them all together, they all weave into one giant story. Right. But Nightmare World's fairly PG-13 in the scheme of things. It is. It's pretty PG-13. There's no nudity, no swearing, and I still subscribe to that. With my work. But when it came time to launch Tales of Mr. Rhee, I knew I needed to do something a little bit darker. I wanted to go a little bit more intense, and still keep that real psychological perspective, but really go a little bit, a little bit darker, I guess, the way I can describe it. So what we ended up doing with Tales of Mr. Rhee was, it's funny, let's talk about that very first chapter of volume 1. And just to give you an idea, like I said, Mr. Rhee's a magician. He's a paranormal troubleshooter. And what happens is the book opens up when he gets called to this other magician's house. And this magician says, "Oh, Mr. Rhee, I've wanted to meet you. I've got this problem, and I think you can help me fix it." So we just jump right into this book, man. Me is Rod, just boom, go. And what you find out is that this other sorcerer, he thinks he's found a way to control demons. And Les is over there tripping, right? And the way that he's doing it, or trying to do it, is summon demons like a forced possession, but summon them through pregnant women's unborn babies. That way, when they come out, they'll be trapped in a small, fairly helpless body, and then he can kind of control them that way.
So in other words, he's causing the babies to be possessed by demons, and then he's capturing the demons in the babies.
Yes, and then the fetus kind of claws its way out, and it's pretty hardcore.
Yo, I was like, not in a million years would I have thought of that. I was completely surprised. So if you think that that's surprising, there are other things that are surprising in this. That are really, really good.
And Mr. Rhee, just for the record, doesn't stand for this, and takes care of business pretty quickly in regards to this sick freak. But I will tell you, without giving anything away, that moment kicks off the whole series for a reason, because what happens that night ends up having very, very long-term ramifications through the first 4 volumes of Act 1, which we are now collecting in the Act 1 omnibus. So I don't know how far you're into it, my friend, but
I finished it. I finished it.
Oh, okay.
The thing is that that people think that he's crazy because he has these abilities. People think that he's crazy, that he's talking about demons and stuff like that, that he's seeing demons and things that people will see as just a normal everyday situation. He sees demons in it. And so people have identified him as being crazy. So he has to deal with that also. You know, he's a man that's walking alone pretty much, because he is somebody that sees things that we don't see, and the average person, it doesn't believe in devils or demons or anything like that, but he has them all around him. It's a very good, I'm telling you, it's a unique story. It's very well written.
Thank you.
It's very well drawn. I totally loved it, and I cannot wait to read more of this. So let's talk about the Kickstarter, because we only have 19 hours before we go to the goal. And one of the things that has opened up that we've been waiting for is a video game of Mr. Rhee fighting demons. So
yes,
tell us what goals are still available right now, and what you need to push it to fruition.
Well, I'll tell you, our funding goal we hit in 10 hours and 13 minutes. You know, so at that point, we've just been adding more stuff. Originally, my ultimate stretch goal was to unlock, like you said, a free Tales of Mr. Rhee video game for everyone who pledges for at least one of the hardcovers, whether it be Volume 5, the omnibus that collects the first 4. And by the way, Les, when you get the omnibus, Volume 1 is going to be in full color for the first time to match all the other books.
Oh, wow.
Right. So my insane idea for a stretch goal was we could do a Tales of Mr. Rhee video game. You know, like an old school 16-bit style, punch all monsters, just go. Well, then we unlocked that with about a week left. And, people that know me and know how I run a Kickstarter, I'd like to think I'm one of the OGs of Kickstarter, and I don't know when to stop. So I said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to add on stretch goals. We're going to add on more. So then we started upgrading that omnibus, gold gilded pages, a ribbon bookmark, gold gilded pages. We've hit both of those with about 24 hours or so left. So then I said, okay, so what we're going to do is now in the last 19 hours, and I've been watching the Kickstarters we've been talking, we're about $165 away. What we're going to do is we're going to make the Mr. Rhee Volume Act 1 omnibus match one of my old school books, the Nightmare World Bible. So you can see gold gilded pages, ribbon bookmark. And we're going to make the omnibus, if we hit it, leather bound. Just like the Nightmare World omnibus. And that'll be the Kickstarter exclusive version of the book only. Right?
Wow.
So when this book comes out from Source Point Press in comic book stores, across the country next year, it's just going to be a trade paperback compendium style. But what we're going to do on this is people that pre-order the book through Kickstarter are going to get a leather bound, gold gilded pages, ribbon bookmark, omnibus. They'll get the Kickstarter exclusive hardcover Volume 5, which starts Act 2. Then on top of that, you can see their samples there. Free video game, a art print signed by James O'Barr, who created The Crow, for free. You're going to get a bonus comic with 2 stories that are not reprinted in the books for free. You are getting a book plate signed by me and signed by Volume 5 illustrator Austin McKinley with a Remark head sketch on it, custom, for free.
Wow.
It's the big box of Dirk. It's back. I'm calling it, And so really, not to bury the lead, but you could pledge $35, get that Volume 5 hardcover, which is a perfect jumping on point for the series, and get all that extra stuff for free. You could do the both books pledge, get Volume 5 and the omnibus with the first 4, get all that stuff for free.
Wow.
That's how we roll. That's how we pay it forward. That's how I say thank you to the people that support this book. This is my favorite creator-owned book to write. So I'm really excited. Yeah, you can see on the screen right now the little GIF of Mr. Rhee punching demons and throwing magic and stuff like that.
Yes. So I'm telling you all, you must go and get this. I cannot tell you, this is so worth it. I laid down some money for this specifically for a reason. So Dirk is going to tell you, I am a big fan of vampires. I'm a big fan of monsters, period.
Yeah.
But the goal that I went for was a $250 goal?
$250, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what it entitled for me, can you tell them what that entitled?
Yeah, you get, and we have a couple of these left. We sold out of that first round, so there's a couple of those left. It's called Now I'm Famous Too. And what it is you get the omnibus, the first 4. You get volume 5. You get the Rhee beanie with a sigil on it. So it'll be like a beanie style stocking cap with a sigil, a Rhee, if you will. You get all the stretch goals, and then you get drawn into volume 6 as either a vampire or a victim. So you will be immortalized in Tales of Mystery volume 6 as a vampire, which I'm so excited about because you classed up the joint when you jumped in.
Oh,
you did.
So
you
sweet.
classed it up.
He's
And
so
there's like 1 or 2 spots left. People can be drawn in. So you can either be killed in the book. So if like you're a horror fan and like you always want to be killed in a horror movie or horror comic, this is your chance. Or if you want to be one of the villains, volume 6 is the Return of the Vampires. You know, there's the vampires first appear in Tales of Mystery volume 1, and they're back. And it's going to be a battle. And there's going to be a bunch of vampires. And this is your chance if you want to get drawn in and be one of them. And if someone were to pledge for that,
I'm going to be Queen V.
That's it. We'll talk. We'll work that in. And then
Right.
if someone pledges for that, we automatically unlock the leather bound omnibus for everyone too. Because right now we're, like I said, $160 away from everyone getting their omnibus to be leather bound.
Well, you all, I'm telling you, it is so worth it. I want to see this go to, success. And, we are really rooting for you. If I can lay down $250, not just to be a vampire, y'all, that I believe in this project.
And to get all the stuff.
Right. And getting all the stuff. I don't lay $250 down for just nothing.
And I'll tell you the other thing too. One of the things I'm really happy with, and I'm really proud to be working with Source Point Press, because when we're talking about, there's a sample of the game, or concept art for the game. When you look at like the both books pledge, which is volume 5, and then the omnibus, like 700 pages of content, not including the bonus comic and everything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
$85 free US shipping. When you look at a lot of the omnibuses and stuff you can get through major publishers, you're looking at $150, $200, $85 free US shipping, both books and all the stretch goals.
Yeah.
We really pride ourselves, and I really pride myself on doing stuff very economical for the people that buy in advance.
Yeah.
700 pages of content for $85, hardcover, limited edition hardcover, not to be reprinted, gold gilded pages, leather bound if we get there, all this other stuff. Video game,
Yeah.
I'm really honored to be working with Source Point, and they're letting me do stuff like this for this series and doing it for all of you, because I really appreciate everyone back in the book. I could have wrote out my 13,000 and just whatever it is, what it is, but that's not how I'm wired. I like to pay it forward. I like to say thank you to everybody. So we're getting to do all this cool stuff. So thank you, and thank you to everybody backing it. You can go to talesofmystery.com on Kickstarter. Go to kickstarter.com, type in RHEE. It'll take you right to it, and you can jump in and join us.
All right, you all. I just put it in the chat for you. Please go over there and support this really, really wonderful comic. I'm telling you. And maybe you want to put down that $250 and treat yourself for Christmas and draw yourself in as a villain or a vampire. So, have yourself drawn in. I'm telling you, this is incredibly good stuff right here that you're going to be getting. Gift it to yourself. I always buy a gift for myself for Christmas. This year I'm going to buy 2. This was one of my gifts right here.
Right on. You're going to get to talk to Mr. Rhee in the next volume.
Yeah. I'm telling you, so definitely worth it. Well, thank you so much, Dirk, for filling us in about this.
No, thank you.
And we'll just do like a real quick run at the end of the show too, just to send everybody over there one more time. Let's get into our content this evening, because we got a lot of things that we need to talk about today. One of the things that we need to talk about is, one second. Just make sure this is here. It is Transgender Day of Remembrance, which is on November the 20th.
Mm-hmm.
This is a cause that both are very dear to me and Augie's heart. And we just want to remember all the people who were killed. Statistically, transgender male and females are likely to be killed at a higher percentage in communities of color than they are just to be killed. So I'm talking about not only in the Black community, but also in the Native American community. So make sure you educate yourself, inform yourself about this and about the atrocities that are caused against people who are transgender. We here at the Tingling Tea are very, very supportive of our community, our LGBTQ plus IA two-spirit community. And they're very important to us. So we want to make sure that you go and you make yourself knowledgeable about these things. You make yourself knowledgeable about it, and then you go and lay a flower, support a cause this week. Go and look at the story of Marsha P. Johnson. That's a phenomenal story that you need to look at. There are several stories
Sylvia.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that you could she was such she was probably the main component in the movement for rights for LGBTQ plus IA. And we just named a park after her here in Manhattan, I believe.
We did. You can go to Netflix and watch The Death and Life of Martha P. Johnson. That's actually a really incredible movie. It
really is. It's an incredible movie. But there are several other stories out there about the transgender community and also our two-spirit community that you need to familiarize yourself with it. A lot of people, this community is a mystery to a lot of people who are not, I would say, LGBTQIA plus 2 friendly. But I think the more you know, the more you understand. So please go and do that. And if you have any questions about the transgender community, feel free to reach out to us here at the CRYPTID Productions. We will be happy to talk to you about that. Any questions you may have, just send us a message and we'll be happy to talk to you about that. But we totally want to remember all those people who have laid down their life or died tragically for just wanting to be free, just wanting to live their lives. So please go and support your community on November the 20th. All right, let's go into our next. So Eddie, this weekend, I had the distinct pleasure of interviewing a couple of guys that are legends within.
A couple of guys.
Yeah.
Just a couple of guys. I like how she says it. It's just regular guys.
Yeah, just a couple
she just rolled, letting it roll like, just a couple of dudes, right? No big
These
deal.
were incredible interviews. Let me just tell you this, Les. I mean, you did such a great job at putting them right at ease. And there was something about you that made them spill the beans. Like these were really, really good interviews. It wasn't like question, answer. It was a casual conversation about important topics that you led in a very beautiful way. So congratulations to you. I think you were amazing in both of these. And we really got to see living legends. I mean, these people it was obvious as you're watching these interviews, there's something different about these people. These people have risen above for so long. And they have overcome so much, and they have made life choices to, deliver in spite of everything that was trying to hold them down for so long. And there was such wisdom that came out of both of these interviews. I love them. So congratulations to you.
Thank you very much. You can go back and revisit these interviews at the Urban Action Showcase Expo. You can follow them on Facebook and go back and look at these visits. And if you, I might be able to post them on our Cliff Dive page, or you can go to Native Brown Media, which is my new media content company that deals with content specifically catered to people of color here in the U.S. and Native American heritage and the intersection of the two people. So definitely go there and take a look at it. For one, I am amazed at how well those interviews went. It was my first time supporting Mr. Demetrius Angelo, who is the creator of the Urban Action Showcase and Expo. It was the first time he asked me to do this. So one of the reasons why I branded myself as Native Brown Media was because he told me I needed to have a brand. And I was like, what? I don't have a brand. What's that? So I started naming him and stuff. And I'm so glad that I did, because I really felt like I brought it and I represented well. But most importantly, and this is something that I learned by interviewing two legendary icons within Black film, the most important thing that you have to be is a fan. And I think that that is what made it such a comfortable interview, because first of all, I was looking at them as peers and mentors, but I also was a fan. So it was very hard a couple of times not for me to go like, no, like that, you know, in the middle of the interview, you know, because I was, you know, I had to have my composure and everything like that. Now I did that after it was over, but both of these gentlemen, I had something in common with, and I think that that was the main component. I started off with the commonality between us.
And let me tell you, both of them presented in such an iconic way, right? There was no, like, when they came on the screen, you know, they were like at the side, and they had the hat on, and they had it looked like they were in a movie, like they were doing a take in a movie.
Yeah.
I was like, these are not schmucks behind a video camera right now. These are like icons.
Yeah.
There was another level going on with them.
Oh, and let me tell you, I was basking in that. I'm okay to bask in it. I mean, Mario had his little hat to the side, sitting there talking to me, you know, sitting in his, like, you know, iconic pose. Yeah. And Fred the Hammer Williamson was sitting with his cigar, because, you know, he's known for his cigars now. He was in his smoking room. That's what he told me that room was in the background.
Oh, really?
So he was in his smoking room. God. Yeah, because he said he's not allowed to smoke in the house. And so, you know, but he was sitting there. I mean, I just had some very genuine things that I did not want to talk. I mean, their work speaks for itself. I wanted to introduce people to the work if they've never been familiar with it. So, of course, I had to go over the obligatory stuff about their work. But honestly, I just wanted to talk to them as human beings. And I felt like I managed to do that with these conversations.
The only improvement I would make is more Jaws for the revenge. That's all. Like, there wasn't enough. This time it's personal. There was not enough of that.
Yeah, I did say that when I talked to Mario Van Peebles, I did say that when my friends knew that I found out that I was going to be interviewing you, they did not shout out specific movies. They shouted out scenes in movies. And I mentioned you saying him rolling the deep with that big ass turtle in Jaws: The Revenge.
You did.
So
you did.
Yes, I did. So yeah.
Can I just interject real quick? I'm just gonna we're all friends. Will keep this real. You're talking to probably one of the only people that read the novel Jaws: The Revenge. All right.
I read that novel too.
You did too.
We're the only two people who read that.
Only two, right? You can't find that book
I
in the
literally had that novel in paperback on my bookshelf.
Yes,
I did.
Oh, that's incredible.
So did the movie create the book well? Did it actually translate over? Oh.
So there's nothing about that book, that entire experience that should be repeated. But
even the cover basically repurposes the Jaws 1 cover, like the shark shooting up out of the water, but now he's shooting up out of the water, and it's got her up there with like the harpoon and stuff like that.
Yeah. I just want to know, did they know the shark was roaring like a lion when they were filming it?
I don't know.
Was there someone like roar in the
you know
back?
What? Because we weren't there to talk about Jaws 3: The Revenge, and we were there to talk about Solo and New Jack City. I couldn't go into that. I have to tell you that Demetrius I had like a countdown, and he kept telling me, you know, you've only got 10 minutes, you've only got 5 minutes, talk about the other film, because we were talking about everything else. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, I have to, you know, I have to wheel him in, because we just went we went off in a tangent talking about other stuff. It
was so good though. Like, who cares about that other stuff? It gave you a a glimpse into their life. You know what I mean? Like you were sitting in the living room with these people, and like that's all you need. Like success is already done.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, I only have to revisit their films because there might be somebody out there who doesn't know who they are, and I had to go through who it was. But I wanted so badly to talk about From Dusk to Dawn with Fred the Hammer Williamson. I wanted so badly to talk to Mario Van Peebles about Posse, you know, but of course those two were not on the table. Those two films were not on the table. So
well,
when
you talked a little bit about Posse, but I love I was new to the New Jack City stuff. I did not know all that information about New Jack.
Yeah. New Jack City, oh gosh, was so iconic.
God, and I got the song running in my head right now. I'm trying not to sing it because it would not be good.
I used to park my car. I used to park my car next to the place where they filmed that, where like the big lair was, and where Chris Rock got all cracked out.
Oh wow!
I would walk right there. I was like, "Oh, this is."
You mean
Pookie?
Pookie, Chris Rock, Pookie. Yes. Well, I'm going to tell you, thank you so much, Demetrius Angelo, for even just having that confidence in me and seeing something in me that he felt that would be able to translate to talk to these legends. You know, I'm forever honored. I'm forever honored to even have that conversation with them. And I hope that, you know, in the future, I'll run into them again and we can continue our conversation when the cameras are not rolling and actually have like, you know, the discussions that I really wanted to have because I only had like 45 minutes. So, but thank you so much. Thank you so much. And that means a lot to me, Eddie, that you would say how wonderful it was. Somebody from,
I'm not pulling your leg. This is really, really good.
I had a young lady who's part of Cast and Crew of Color, which is Warrington Hudlin's group that he has on Facebook. She called me a boss interviewer. Yeah. I was like, girl, thank you. Yeah. So I'm glad, you know, now if I could get paid for that, I'd be really happy about it.
That's the dream.
Yeah, you'll see it. Yeah, you'll see it. So let's move on.
Then you'll be buying all of Dirk mayonnaise stuff.
Yeah, I'll be doing that and having a conversation with Dirk too on my couch. We'll be talking, you know, about his.
I'll be asking you to find out, like Eddie said, did they know the shark roared? Or was it in post?
And you know, I have to ask him that though. When I run into him again, I have to ask him about.
Look, I'll pay for that answer. I got to know. I'll draw you in twice. If your vampire character gets killed in volume 6, we'll bring back like her sister in volume 7 or down the road again.
She kills Jaws. Yeah, listen. Hey, if I could get that info, I might go ahead and get that just to come back as a vampire, you know, or a vampire who came back to life.
Right.
So we have to move on because we have some other stuff to get through really quick. I mean, we can stay here for a moment. I can see. Eddie, you went somewhere this weekend.
Oh, I did. I went somewhere. I went on a field trip.
Yes.
20 miles away from my house.
Tell us all about it.
Well, does anyone know who the artist is that did this? Does anyone know what this is?
I know what it is. It's iconic. Yes.
All right. So this is Edward Hopper, right? Right. And Edward Hopper was, you know, in my opinion, one of the most underrated artists of the 20th century. He was alive from 1882 and he died in 1967. And we're looking at Nighthawks, right? Which probably is one of his most famous pieces of work. And his work really focuses on this sort of mid-century time when sort of there's change afoot, there's gentrification going on, there is you know, it conveys a sense of modernity, but it still offers you a sense of nostalgia at the same time. So it's a very interesting moment in time that Edward Hopper has in all of his paintings. And of course, this is his most famous painting, but way back 20 years before he did this painting, he did another painting. By the way, Edward Hopper was born in Nyack, New York, and he lived in Nyack, New York, which is where I am right now. And Edward Hopper went to a town called Haverstraw, which is about 20 miles north. and he saw a house that he thought was interesting. And this is the house right here that that's right up the road, from 20 miles up the road from where I am right now. And he thought this was interesting. And what he did in this painting, he painted this house, and this painting was called The House by the Road. The House by the Railroad. And he juxtaposed the railroad ties underneath the house with the house on top of it. And it's really supposed to be a Victorian house on top, the railroad in the bottom, sort of modernity cutting through, Victorian era. And this is a common theme that you see often. And so this is a kind of a cool house looking, right? It's kind of amazing. It's right on a main road. So I couldn't go in front of it because I get run over by a car. So I had to go onto the side and take it from different angles. And you can see it's in kind of an area with other houses that are sort of similar. So anyway, so Hopper was really fascinated with this. Why don't you go to the next slide? He made a painting of this called House by the Railroad. Now, this is starting to look familiar, right? Mm-hmm. House by the Railroad. This looks like an interesting house. Well, none other than Hitchcock went and saw House by the Railroad as it was touring. And Alfred Hitchcock used this painting as the inspiration for the house in Psycho, of course.
Right.
So,
wow.
Yes. So the Victorian decorations, you can see that he sort of made it his own. He didn't include some of the windows in his painting from the original. He altered it a little bit, but he got the point of the entire house. They made it their own thing. So the original house was built in 1885. Of course, the Psycho house was built when it was built for the movie in the 60s. But the Psycho house then it was decided that the Psycho house would be built. It was built actually with this same angle to it. So if you look down at the Bates Motel and you're looking up the hill, and you can see that there's a horizontal line that goes through the bottom of the house. And that's really what it's supposed to look like. Plus, if you think about Psycho, it's really about this place that used to be thriving, and now they've made a highway, so nobody's going through this area. So it's an abandoned, older representation of the passage of time. So a lot of Psycho was actually drawn from the painting. It was inspired by a house that's 20 miles north of where I am as I say these words.
Wow.
So that's pretty amazing, right?
I love that.
Kind of interesting too is that the house on the Universal lot was built using this is just a little piece of movie trivia. The house was built actually from the house that was taken from Jimmy Stewart's house in the movie Harvey. So if you know Harvey from Jimmy Stewart,
yes.
they repurposed the Harvey house that was also on the Universal lot, and they moved it there and made it look like the way it does now. So this is actually the Harvey house, but people don't know it as the Harvey house, of course. They know it as the Psycho house.
Psycho house, yeah.
Also, this is not the only inspiration that this particular painting has given to us in the film world. This was actually the same painting was actually the inspiration for the John Adams inspiration for the house in the Adams
family. Yes, I was going to say this does look like the Adams family's house.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And finally, there's another inspiration that's more recent. This was the inspiration for a house that we saw more recently in Beetlejuice. So
wow.
So the big white modernist house that they put up is a modernist version of this.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Isn't that interesting? And now it's just like a house that it's like a rental.
What?
So
You can rent this
hang-
house?
You can, well, I imagine there's multiple apartments in it. I mean, there's like parking behind it, so I think there's more than one unit.
I've been hearing that more and more, where they're renting places that used to be part of movies or part of history, where you can actually go and sleep in the place.
Yeah. So kind of interesting, right? So
Wow,
the
very
actual
interesting.
inspiration for all of these iconic homes that we have grown up with and are familiar and are part of our psyche was just a regular house that was happened to become famous because of an artist that saw something in it.
And it's interesting too, because even when it's funny, when you first showed the house, I'm like, God, that kind of reminds me of the Psycho house. I didn't know the other one, but even like the painting and stuff, how it's at an angle.
Yeah.
And when you think about most houses, you walk up to them and you walk straight ahead of them.
Exactly.
You know? But the Psycho house being at the angle, and the fact that was based on the painting of the house at an angle, it's just fascinating. And that's my even though I write comics on draw, that's like my comic brain looking at that. And it's like, it's one of those things. It's like something's a little off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something's a little off. But wow, what a story, man. That's very cool.
Yeah,
Very good story.
I nearly fell off my chair when I found out it was near me. So
I love the fact that you went and did an excursion, because that literally lends to our conversation here. And there's so many things that we need to do. You know, we so we can bring that stuff to people, and they didn't. I mean, that's amazing. That's some amazing history that you just shared with us.
Yeah, and it's just right down the road. So random.
I loved it. Well, I'd have to go by and see it when I come and visit you. We have to go by and take a look at it. Yeah,
we're gonna go stalk some of those people in that house, see if we can get stuff.
Well, you can find out if it's like an Airbnb or something like that, or people rent it out.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's literally people's home. I think
people rent apartments. It's like people rent apartments.
They're
apartments.
Yeah.
That's the same case here too. We have a lot of Victorian houses in my area, and there people just rent out a whole entire floor of the Victorian house because they're so huge.
Yeah, this is I don't know if you could tell, but that's a big house.
That's huge.
It looks big.
It's a monstrosity.
It
really is.
It's just the connection from the cafe to that. Just wow, incredible. I had no idea. That's so cool.
Yeah, I was blown away by the whole thing. I was literally like shaking when I was walking toward him because I'm a total geek.
You're doing the geek shake.
I was like, bah! I can't believe it's in front of me. I mean, but if you look at the top, you can see it. You know what I mean? Just the angles of
can see it.
You can see it. It's
you can definitely see it. I'm like scared of that wraparound porch. It's got like too many doors and windows for me to be on that level. It really is. Just phenomenal.
You can see that Edward Hopper did his own version of that house. He didn't do the actual house. But you can see where it all was inspired by.
Yeah.
Now you can't unsee it either, right?
It has. You can't. It has such a haunting lean to it. Like it's not within reality. That it's like really weird. Well, anyway, let's go ahead. Let's move on. So, this is Native American Heritage Week, and I have been putting this off like several times, but I wanted to talk about some Native American cryptids because that's what we do on this show, and just go over a couple of them. And actually, I found some footage of some of these creatures. Only a couple because I was running late today, so I only have like a couple of. I have only like a couple of things. A couple of things that are apart from the cryptid line, but I will promise you that after next week is Thanksgiving, so we won't be here next Thursday, but we will be here the following Thursday. At some point, outside of Native American Heritage Month, maybe I'll bring some content about these cryptids. Cryptids here in Native America have been around like forever.
That's a scary cryptid, man.
That's a frightening cryptid.
That's a frightening cryptid. Yeah, that's a frightening cryptid right there.
I've actually run into that cryptid a couple of times. It's amazing to see them in a public setting.
The lore is that cryptid takes your money.
Well, no. He exchanges money for books. I don't that cryptid exchanges you with wealth of content, of knowledge, at very economical prices.
Oh
It's like a reverse leprechaun. Like you give him paper and he gives you back paper with more stuff on it.
What is in y'all's cups? That's all I want to know. Anyway, so we're going to talk about Native American cryptids because most of the cryptids that we know that are existing today are actually cryptids that have been around for centuries before the Europeans got here. And there are so many of them. It is unbelievable, but some you know and some that you don't know. So I wanted to talk specifically about the ones that you don't know. Now, we do know about skinwalkers.
Right.
Now, the thing about skinwalkers, I don't know if you have you all ever heard of skinwalkers?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so skinwalker is a person actually with a supernatural ability to turn into any creature they desire.
Yep.
And they're able to transform. And legend says that they have to kill somebody in order to transform an animal. There has to be some shedding of blood before they transfer over to their human or animal form. They normally wear a pelt that is usually made of animal fur, but they have to kill somebody before they shapeshift, apparently. And there is a Skinwalker Ranch that we did talk about, right? Yeah, we talked about it. But these things have been around since pre-Columbian times.
I think there's a movie too.
There's a movie about them also. The Navajos talk about them often, but I've heard of late that these skinwalkers have been around like other places. They're popping up in other places. Okay, and so let's move on to our next one, and that's the Wendigo. Now, do you all know anything about the Wendigo?
That is a movie as well.
This is also a movie. Of course, it's not, what I would consider to be the best movies. These movies are not giving you the full. They're not giving you the full lore. No, they're not. No, they're not. Come on now.
I love the Wendigo.
The Wendigo is a very, very unique creature. So apparently the thing is that they look a certain way. They look just like this. They have the horns. They have apparently they're followed by like a horrible smell when people, know that they're near. They actually smell. They have like a smell to them.
The stench of death.
A stench around them. So they are. They can use their name. Their names are Wendigo, Wendigo, Wetiko, Witikau, Wendigo, and they are a cannibalistic spirit resembling a zombie. In some forms, the Wendigo is the size of a human, while in others, it can be 15 feet tall. And the earliest description of the Wendigo was that it was similar to a corpse or like a skeleton body with gray skin and sunken eyes and bloody lips and fangs and all that other kind of stuff. Wendigos are known from Algonquin lore. And so that is where they know about them. But I've heard that they also have been appearing in other places. There's a really funny TikTok out right now where I love, being of Native American heritage. I absolutely love Native TikTok, or, that's what I think they call it, Native TikTok. And I loved it so much. I thought it was really funny. They had one the other day. So this guy, he was saying he had himself, it was him playing the role. He said his non-native friend was over his head, and then he was sitting watching TV or whatever. And his non-native friend was on the res looking out the window, and it was at night. And he goes, hey, there's like a dog out there. And he goes, oh, maybe there's like a coyote. Wow, I've never seen a coyote. And so his friend who's native, who's been on the res, is like, like that. And he goes, that dog looks kind of weird. And then the native guy looks up at him like this, and he goes, hey, that dog is standing up. He's like, get out the window. Like that. Get out the window. Yeah, get out the window. Because apparently they've come around the res several times and people know of them. They, they don't stay out at a certain time at night, because these creatures come out. They don't inhabit areas where they know that there are Wendigos. And they still believe that these things exist. People have actually seen them. So they don't. One thing about Native American people, they said that they do not keep their windows open in their house. They don't look out windows at night just because of Wendigos.
Really?
And other cryptids. Yeah, they don't do it.
And Les, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Wendigos also are kind of like a parable for anti-cannibalism as well, correct?
Well, yeah, in a way, yes. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I'm not really sure how that correlates with one another, but you're absolutely right.
You know, like can't you get possessed by the Wendigo if you like eat human flesh and things like that? Is that
well? This
was that part of the Native American, the true origins of it, or did that get kind of put on it later?
So no, they believe the creature actually exists. They believe that people can become Wendigos.
Right. Okay.
And I believe that the Wendigo actually carries like a medicine bag. Most of the creatures that are Wendigos, from what I understand, are also witches that are shapeshifters.
Or shaman, yeah.
Yeah, they're bad shaman.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely not anything. And then let's talk about the Pukwudgie. Have you all ever heard of a Pukwudgie?
I've not heard of this one.
No, but it's kind of cute.
Well, it's not cute. It's not cute. Let's just say that. So in Native American lore, Native American people believe that everything has a spirit. A tree has a spirit. A grass has a spirit. We have the Great Spirit. But there are also other creatures that inhabit this land, that have inhabited this land way before we do. And we used to live in unity with these people, not disturbing one another, but aware of the fact that they were present. So a Pukwudgie is about 2 to 3 feet tall. It is from Wampanoag lore, which is here in the East Coast. And they resemble a human, but they have enlarged noses, fingers, and ears. And their skin is described as like gray, and sometimes it glows. They reappear and disappear. Some people's houses that have been haunted, where they're like, when they come into the house and all the cabinets are open and powder and everything is thrown on the floor and stuff like that. They think that there's a poltergeist, but in actuality, it's a Pukwudgie. It can walk. It can transform into a walking porcupine. It can attack people. It's like a very devious little, thing. It can attack people, and it can lure you to your death. They also use magic. They have poison arrows, and they create fire at will.
Dang.
Yeah.
And they just kind of hang out. I mean, they're just a creature, right? They're just
a creature, and I would assume that they're like a interdimensional type of creature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They say that Pukwudgies control what they call Taipai-Wankas, which are the souls of Native Americans that have been killed. But they're tricksters, and they're bad.
I'd be kind of pissed if I had hair like that too.
Well, there was I love Paranormal Witness and paranormal stories like that, those shows that come on. They actually had an episode, I believe, on Paranormal Witness, where this woman's house was infested with Pukwudgies. She had gotten something that she shouldn't have brought into the house that was Native American. It might have been a spear or something like that. It might have been the Pukwudgie spear for all she knew. And the Pukwudgies were attacking their home. And they had to have a shaman come in and bless the house to get the Pukwudgies out.
In what way were they attacking the home?
They were just destroying the house. Like they would go to, work or whatever, and they would come back and their bathroom would be demolished. Like they had thrown everything out of the cabinets. All the cabinets were open. Oh, wow. They had done stuff like thrown everything out of the refrigerator. And they actually found footprints of these little suckers in the house.
Les, have you seen on Netflix? No, on Amazon Prime. Sorry, Hellier.
No, I have not seen that.
Oh my goodness! Make a note.
Okay, Hellier. I got to write that down.
Because this reminds me, because it's interesting. Because down in the show starts with the notion of these Kentucky goblins. They're called, and it's very similar to what you're describing right here with the Pukwudgie, about small, diminutive creatures that go around and kind of cause a ruckus. What they find in Hellier and how it starts, and this is going to become your jam right now. We're going to have to do a whole show just talking about Hellier if you want.
Oh, we're going to have to do it now.
I'm telling you, legit.
Let's do it.
But it's interesting that this matches that notion of the Kentucky goblins. And again, down there, everyone knew about them. They have footprints, everything else. They just kind of know they're around. in this certain area. So this is fascinating. One of the things that fascinates me about all this stuff is the crossover, right?
Yeah.
And how these creatures, these cryptids, seem to exist in different places that wouldn't talk to each other per se, but they have the same reports.
Yes.
The same experiences.
And different names, because people call it different names, but it might be something, hey, that sounds like, a chupacabra, or that sounds like whatever. Pukwudgies is interesting too. Pukwudgies actually has an African component as well. I once read a book called Of the Water and the Spirit about a man who was forced to go to a Jesuit school. What they were doing, basically what the Catholic Church had done several times to even indigenous people here in the U.S. and forced them to go to like a residential school.
Right.
That's what happened. But he was the grandson of a chief. And when his grandfather passes away, he's next in line. His father, I don't know why his father's not in line, but he's next in line to inherit the powers and the resources of his grandfather, who was a medicine man. And so he finds his way back home, and he actually reopens up his eyes to the world around him. He had been so Europeanized or colonized that he did not see the things that Africans have been seeing for centuries. The spirits that lived in trees, the spirits that lived in the rocks and so he opens his eyes, and there were pukwudgies in Africa. These little pygmy like creatures. So very interesting story. So let's get into our footage this evening, because we're talking about, let's talk about that.
Let's get into the good stuff.
Let's get into the good stuff. And we have a couple of things. So as we were talking about, we have this new series now called What Did I Just See? So we're gonna do that. And I noticed something, you all. My chair keeps sliding down. I noticed something that, we watch it very quickly, but I don't revisit it. So I want to kind of get into what we're seeing tonight and maybe replay it a little bit.
All right.
So our first thing comes from one of my favorite persons, Sir Spooks. I absolutely love this guy. And I will put these in post for you all, these videos in post, so that you can go ahead and look at them later, and actually look at the full videos of everything that these content creators have put together. These content creators that come up with all these compilations of scary footage, my hat is off to them for finding it, because I think it's hard when I'm trying to find footage, just for this show. I can just imagine when you're putting stuff together for a show, what it's like, when you're putting a compilation thing together.
Is Sir Spooks on Insta? Where does Sir Spooks live?
Sir Spooks is you can find Sir Spooks on YouTube, but if you go to his YouTube channel, you can also find, he has some other things that you can find him on. So let's look at this particular footage. Now, this was going around the web for a while. He just happened to capture it perfectly for me, but I saw it alone by itself. I actually saw the authentic footage. And I should learn how to capture my own footage based on the stuff that people submit on Reddit. But I saw this. So we were talking about cryptids and Native American cryptids. We were talking about skinwalkers and the fact that skinwalkers can transform themselves into humans. Now, I have been hearing a lot of stories about skinwalkers, how they're looking at people from the forest, that they're mimicking people's sounds and voices, so that people are lured into the woods thinking that somebody's calling them like a friend or whatever, but in actuality, and I've heard stories where they're mimicking people, but it's more of a gruff sound, something that's unnatural, something that is not human, but it's mimicking. I've heard many stories about this. Somebody actually captured something that shook me. I was shook when I saw this. Shooketh? I was quite shooketh.
So we should remind children to not be watching this, and for parents to take a moment to have their children exit the room.
Yes. So let's just say
I grew up watching this stuff, and I turned out just fine.
Yeah, but not our kids are like that. Kids are not as hardy as we were. That's I've been neglecting to do our disclaimer for this show. So let's just say this: if you don't like this kind of content, I would tell you right now to turn us off and not watch it, because this will get into your mind. I'm just going to say this. This will stick into your mind. So I just want you to understand, and Jordan, you're getting ready to watch it right now. I just want you to understand that this is some creepy content, you all. So please leave the room. And if you have any kids, please do not. I'm going to have you use parental discretion here. You know your children. So you can't blame your children for watching this if you're sitting right there next to them. So shush them out of the room. Okay, so I'm going to share this first footage right here. So apparently these guys were, I guess they were, I don't know where these guys were at. They were like, I guess they were in the bayou somewhere. I hope we can get good sound on this. Let's just make sure this is the sound. Let me know if you hear this. You hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. Check this out.
Imagine you're driving near a local forest, simply enjoying the drive and trying to get the most out of your day, when suddenly you get into a highly unnerving encounter with somebody incredibly strange. That is exactly what happened to the man in this YouTube video. In the clip, the videographer starts filming right when he pulls up right next to a strange man lurking in the woods. Although there's no context provided to let us know what led up to this incident, it's still incredibly chilling and will leave you scratching your head. Take a look.
How you doing? Oh, just some cruisers, man.
Oh.
That's crazy shit. Just crawling at me like a goddamn. What's up, dude?
Amazing.
Oh.
What the?
Okay, so we're gonna watch it again,
Mm-hmm.
and this time I want you to look for something in particular.
Yeah.
First of all, the gruffness in his voice is almost like he was mimicking them. Where he's like, "What you doing, guy?" And then he goes, "Yeah." Now, who in the world crawls out of a pit like that? And then did you all notice the movement of his head when he got to like a certain point? How he moved his head. Like
I did, actually.
Like something that was strange. I also want you to look at the elongation of his limbs.
Mm-hmm. I saw all that.
Okay, so let's go back and look at it again. Okay, here we go.
How you doing? Oh, just some cruisers, man. That's crazy shit. Just crawling at me like a goddamn. What's up, dude?
Run, man, run.
That the first thing
I
I
don't know why I
thought,
didn't stick around. What? Did you want to hear what this guy was to say? Like, he just left.
And
you
his
Like,
Right.
dude, why are you crawling?
are you
I-
crazy?
I mean, his arms are so skinny. That's
Exactly.
what
Yes.
that's what rocked me the first time. It's like, I mean, he's not a. I don't. It's we. I don't know, man. I got to understand more, but it just seemed like his arms were exceptionally skinny.
And then
Yes.
looked longer when he was crawling.
Just like the skinwalker I showed you all a picture of. And this is what skinwalkers do. They mimic human beings.
Well,
They
it certainly
mimic
was.
them and cause to lure people in. That the thing that got me was at first I thought he was drunk. I was like, oh, he's just drunk. He fell
Right.
down
He's
there.
on drugs or something. Right. Tripping
But
out.
when he started crawling up the ravine, and then that movement of his head, and then when his arms started extending out, I'm done. I was like,
I got to give that guy credit. He stayed there way longer than I would have. I would have been like down that street.
But see, I'm white.
Unbelievable.
I'm white. I don't have that reaction.
those dudes were white too. Those dudes were white. But they
I would have been like, hey,
they
man,
was
what's up?
They were some good, and that's because you from the East Coast. They were some good old boys from the South, and they were like, oh, no, I'm out of here. They were gone. They know. That's some creepiness. That was just
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah, that was wrong. That was definitely, there was something very
That was something
with
wrong,
that
yeah.
whole thing.
But it looks like something's wrong from the beginning. When you're watching him stand there, he doesn't look right.
He looks distorted, right?
Yeah.
Like his whole face.
Right.
looks
His torso
distorted and
is very
everything.
wide, and his shoulders are he's kind of
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah, like
Because-
a scarecrow. Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
did not
Yeah.
he did not mimic he did not mimic a human very well.
He was a poor excuse for a Wendigo, let me tell you.
No, that's a skinwalker because he was a
He was a
skinwalker.
poor excuse for a
For a
skinwalker.
skinwalker. He was bad. So what would you all say? Do you all think that that's a thumbs up, like weird, creepy, or
That's definitely weird, creepy.
That was definitely creepy and weird.
Yeah, I mean, I would want to watch it again and even like look at when he's like his hands, like
Mhm.
when he's getting on that rougher stuff, you know, is he wincing at all? I mean,
He's going
No,
like
he's
this.
not.
Yeah,
He's like,
he's not
not.
wincing.
you see
doesn't
his
look like
whole
he's
arm
hurt.
like go
Yeah.
up like that. It's really creepy.
yeah, very, very. So thank you, Sir Spooks, for that footage. Some amazing footage, and yes, I managed to creep my team out. So yes, let's go to the
Good
next
job.
one. Thank you
wait,
so
there's
much.
more?
There's more.
Oh, we're
That's
just
what we
getting
do. That's what we
started.
do. That's what we do on this. Listen to
I
you.
know. Oh,
Listen to you, the horror writer. How
What
can
did
I
you
know,
get rid
but-
of this kind of stuff?
that still gives me the, and you know, the other thing too is like that was in the middle of the day.
Yeah, that was. I was saying the same thing too. I was like, it's the middle of the day. This thing still feels really creepy.
Yep.
That's some
I think
Blair
that's
Witch
what makes
shit.
it even
So
more
the
creepy.
day don't
All right.
save you. The day don't
I
save
thought you were gonna go easy on me, but that's fine.
No.
Like Adele, easy on me.
No, I'm not going to do it. So
Good luck
here's
sleeping.
another thing. This is coming from Slapped Ham, which I absolutely love. Slapped Ham.
I love
You
me
know,
some slapped ham.
Yeah, I turned Eddie onto Slap Ham. So in this footage, they actually saw this footage elsewhere too. This woman was in her house, and she, you know, all of the little kids have like imaginary friends and stuff like that. She heard her daughter in the house talking to somebody,
Uh-oh.
and this is what she captured.
Mm-mm.
Okay, here we go.
A woman named Genevieve Mary posted a video to her TikTok account that shows something very unsettling. In the description, she states that she thought she could hear her young daughter talking to someone in the house, despite the fact that there was no one else there at the time of the recording. So obviously a bit curious and concerned, Genevieve proceeded to ask her daughter who she was talking to. The video cuts off before we can hear her young daughter's answer, but the true terror comes just seconds before she comes into the room. Take a look.
Lorelei, come here. Lorelei, who are you playing with? What are you doing?
Exactly.
Did y'all see
What?
it? Did y'all see it?
I saw this video before. Yeah, so I saw it.
Did you see it?
You mean the shadow figure going by? I saw
Yes.
that.
I need to see it. I no, I missed it.
Let's do it. Let's show it for you one more time.
Yeah.
Rewind it back.
Ugh, that thing's creepy.
It's there at the time of the recording. So obviously a bit curious and concerned, Genevieve proceeded to ask her daughter who she was talking to.
Look at her
The video
before her
cuts
daughter
off
walks
before
out.
we can hear her young daughter's answer, but the true terror comes just seconds before she comes into the room. Take a look.
Lorelei, come here. Lorelei, who
Oh
are
my
you playing
God. No, no.
An eerie shadow-like figure can be seen quickly moving away from Genevieve's daughter, just
Exactly.
seconds before she comes to talk to her mother.
with? Lorelei, come here. Lorelei,
Oh,
who are you playing with? What are you doing?
Genevieve
Now, let me finish what they said. What he says.
Yeah, what did the daughter say?
says at the time of the video's recording, she didn't notice the shadowy figure in the background at all, and only noticed it after she reviewed the footage later on. She most certainly got the shock of her life when she realized that her daughter may have made a mysterious friend. A lot of comments thought it was just the little girl's shadow as she
It's not.
walks in.
That's not her
But
shadow. The
slowing
shadow is
footage
higher than
down,
she
it's
is.
clearly not a shadow, as it doesn't cast against the back
back
wall.
wall.
Instead, it seems to be a solid form that's walking several feet in front of the door in the
What
background.
are you playing with?
And is it
What are
me?
you doing?
But doesn't that look like Wednesday Addams?
Yeah.
I definitely see a bunch of hair. Actually.
Yeah, it looks like I
Yeah,
thought it was
long
like
black hair.
I thought it was
and-
cousin it.
And
I think it's the girl from The Ring.
I'm telling you. And let me just say something about this. The way that thing walked away with confidence, there was nothing childlike in that thing.
That was not. Yeah, you're right. That wasn't a childish walk. That was a very confident adult walk.
Yeah.
I know the video she's talking about. I've seen that one. You see, it's just a shadow, and you hear it calling. It's like, come here.
Yeah, I have to find that footage, Jordan. Thank you for that. I'm going to look for that footage, and we're going to show that footage.
And the thing is, too, what's crazy is like the mom calls out the daughter, so the thing goes by, then the daughter walks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically it was like the mom was calling her. It's like, who are you talking to? And then the thing was like, oh, your mom is calling us.
Right.
So I'm going to walk away. And she just walks away. There was nothing childlike about that creature. Nothing.
Yeah, that was creepy. That was definitely creepy.
Mad creepy.
Mad creepy.
Mad creepy. So what do you think, you all? What do you think? You think authentic?
Yeah, it looks authentic.
I think that was authentic. Yeah, I don't think that was
the shadow
made.
keeps walking. Yeah, it's not like the shadow turns or the shadow, it does anything like the kid does. It just keeps going forward.
Yeah, it comes for Dirk. You okay?
Oh, Dirk.
I feel like Dirk
you watched the show before?
I have, and I thought it would come on. Talk about Kickstarter. I'm one backer away from 300 backers. I'm one backer away from unlocking the leather. Mm-hmm. I'm all excited.
Come on, you all. Come on.
And then I see some skinwalkers, like, these little shit. And see, this is the stuff that rocks me, because, I mean, rationally, you can try to justify it. Like, oh, maybe there's a girl's shadow. Maybe there's someone else in there, whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know. God damn.
I'm telling you, yeah. So I'm just saying that was creepy. I hope that she went and got her house cleansed after that, because that you know what they say, that demons, first of all, demons are they don't have any color. Like spirits usually come in some kind of white form. A demon or a dark entity comes in a form where it's dark and it does not cast any shadow and you can't see through it. And demons have the capability of pretending that they're children to talk to children. And that's what that looked like to me.
Yeah.
You're just getting me back because I hit you up with that Demon Baby and Mystery Volume 1 is what you're doing.
Yep. No, listen.
Oh, thank you, Jordan. Really I'm glad someone's looking out. See, Jordan's looking out for me.
Yeah, Jordan is looking out for you. No, listen, I'm not getting you back for that. And I have to say, hands down, that was one of the creepiest things that I ever saw in a book. So if I like this kind of content, then I must have thought that.
I know.
So, all right. So this is another one that I want to bring to you all's attention. So it is believed that mirrors are entryways for spirits and demons to come through. In every type of black magic, skyring, whatever, there is a mirror that's used. It is a pathway for them because it's a way for them they're the opposite of, they're in another world, basically. So they're the opposite of who we are. So they use that as an access or a way to go through. There's been several horror movies out there where a mirror played a significant part in a haunting or some kind of demonic possession. So I want you all to see this.
There's nothing quite like watching videos of cute animals to brighten your day. Oftentimes, whenever somebody watches something horror-related and it scares them, they will immediately begin to watch videos of cats playing around and having fun in order to take their mind off the dark and disturbing things they've seen.
It's a good thing Dirk can do.
These people, you may think that the following video, posted to YouTube by Michael Stutzfand, is one of those adorable videos. For For the first few seconds, it certainly does appear to be a wholesome and fun video of a cat looking at itself in the mirror, perhaps thinking it's another one of his furry friends. It's a cute video right until the end.
Now, if you have cats, they do stuff like this a lot, which makes cats very creepy. But watch this.
No, stop
Seconds
it.
before the video cuts off, the cat's reflection in the mirror turns to face the cat on the other side, not matching its movements. This, of course, has startled many viewers who have questioned how this is even possible. Of course, some people think it's nothing more than clever editing, but then there are those who were genuinely spooked by the footage, claiming it's a glimpse at an alternate reality.
So, now I know that there is no way that they can make that cat do that to their reflection. And if you've ever had cats, there are cats, depending on what you have. I mean, some cats are very cool in front of a mirror. Some of them, you know, just go by it and they know it's just a mirror. But then you have some that think it's another cat and they interact with it. They're spooked by it. They hiss at it and stuff like this. The thing that got me about this particular video was the fact that the cat was like, what the hell is that? The look on the cat's face when he was doing everything and the thing on the other side was doing the same thing was more not like a fear, but like, what is that? Like the way that the cat's ears were a little bit slightly back was like, he was like, you know, what cats do when they're about to attack you sometimes.
Well, that's definitely creepy.
The thing is, I saw this video as well, and I was really creeped out until I learned the cat's name is Schrodinger.
What is Schrodinger?
You know, they put the cat in the box. Is the cat alive or dead when they shoot it full of radiation? So that was a deep cut physics joke. I apologize, but Schrodinger
was the one who created that. Yes,
is it alive or dead?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Look, it's late.
The guy's name is Peter Schrodinger. But I mean, maybe.
It's late. I apologize. I'm running this campaign. I've been running ragged for 30 days on this campaign. So
that's all right.
Wait, this is a safe space.
We got one more person. One more person. You all, please go over there and support. Please, please, please go. We got one more person. We're waiting.
One Bull Books pledge unlocks the leather bound for everybody. Yep. $2.99.
Yes,
$2.99, and we're also very close to that last.
I know.
That last.
$45.
Yeah.
Both books will put us way over. An omnibus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Will put us over.
Yeah. Tales of Mr. Rhee. Come on, you all, go right on over there.
Think about the impact hitter you could be. You'd be the 300th backer.
Yep.
You would unlock the leather for everyone. You get all the stretch goals.
Yep. Yep. That's the bomb. That's all I gotta say. It's the bomb.
That's the person to be.
You could be that person. You could be a hero.
We could be a hero. Yes, you could be a hero. You could be the hero of this. So you all come on, go on over there and do this right now. So we got a couple more videos, and hopefully we can get that one backer by the end of these videos. Let's go into our next video. Because I'm really freaking Dirk out. All right. Here's a very interesting. So this is a.
By the way, I have to say, I think that was manufactured.
You think it was manufactured? All right. What do you all think? Do you think it was manufactured?
I've seen enough TikToks where they do that mirror trick, so it gets kind of funny. But it's just the fact that the cat does what he does when he does it. So, you know, I'm in between there.
So here's my thing, and I kind of like, and this is huge for me to say that I'm a little bit skeptical about it. The fact that the person that was filming it didn't run away and go grab his cat. Is
the fact that he kept filming it.
Yeah, he kept filming it like it was no big deal.
Right. Not like the camera didn't shake at the end, like, oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
There was no gasp. There was no shaking. There was no. Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking that creepy, yes, but fake.
Yeah.
Too polished.
Yeah, too very
There you go,
polished.
too polished.
Yes, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, Jordan was our #1 backer, so he's out there rooting for the 300th backer. So,
Jordan, I'm 100% behind you. I agree with you. Yes, he was the first backer. So please, you all go over there. We are looking for that one backer out there. You could be the hero and do this. All right.
I mean, I'm not here to shake a tin can. We're funded, but this is just to give all of you more stuff.
Exactly.
Yes.
We get
Yes,
more
we
stuff
more
if this whole
more
thing happens right now.
That's right.
And it's
All
double
right.
stuff because you unleash 2 pieces of the puzzle here.
Yep. Yeah. All right. So let's go into this footage right here. So it's a group of ghost hunters who were in a historical site that has been known to have ghost hauntings and stuff like that. And, you know, sometimes these people are so stupid. I don't know why they do these kind of things. But this one, I don't know. As bad as it was, I actually laughed at this one. So let's show this one. This one is from Frostmare TV. King Frostmare. I totally love King Frostmare and his content. Like I said, I will put all of this stuff in post for you all so you can go over and take a look at their content. These guys work very hard on this stuff and putting these compilations together for their people. So let's just do this. This is King Frostmare. Let me just change that to Frostmare. Hold on one second. Okay, here we go. All right, let's share this.
The next video was sent to me by Simon, and he forwarded me the website of the Haunted Hill House in Mineral Wells, Texas. It's a pretty haunted location, to say the least. Every week, ghost hunters from all over the world visit to investigate it. The website features the craziest incidents of the week, and in late September, a group of 3 people conducted a little investigation in one of the bedrooms. And this was when something bone-chilling happened to one of the group's members. It was recorded by the CCTV camera in the room. Let's see it from the victim firsthand.
I'm here with a daughter and her father, and here we at Haunted Hill House bring families together. All right, so tell us what happened.
So I was just asking questions. We were all asking questions, and G, he actually saw something on the top. So we were looking at his camera because he thought he saw a head or something pop out, and I wasn't even really paying attention. And then like we were asking different questions, and then boom, my whole left. I didn't get pulled. It felt like my whole left side of my body was suctioned to the bottom underneath the bed. Almost.
Like gravity disappeared.
Immediately hit the floor, and I looked at him in pure terror, and we sprinted.
After this terrifying story, one can only imagine the dread this young woman must have felt when she got dragged off the bed. Did she maybe just slip or something? Guess there's only one way to find out. Let's see the recording.
Oh.
Let's look at that again.
She got yanked.
She did get yanked.
Something. Guess there's only one way to find out. Let's see the recording.
Damn. It's not even like a light yank. It's a
Yeah.
Ah!
They up, but they out of there now.
They're running.
They out.
Just look with how much force she gets pulled off.
Look at that.
Almost as if something inhumane must have grabbed her. Or if she got tangled up in a machine of some sorts. Really creepy.
Damn.
What do you think happened here? So
I have to tell you, I laughed when I saw that. Because while they were describing it, they sitting there drinking their beer. I don't know what they're drinking, but they drinking right there, whatever. The way she got yanked off that bed, that first of all, she couldn't have done that herself. There was nobody laying on the side of the bed to yank her, but with that much force, we would have at least seen hands grabbing her off. she was yanked.
She was.
Her ass got yanked. She got seriously.
Yeah, well, if there was somebody there, they would have to have used so much force to do what you saw.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was trying.
But she was lying comfortably on the bed.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
She was lying comfortably on the bed. Like she was not on the edge of the bed. She was not like about to fall off.
She was just relaxing. They were there talking, and she got yanked off.
Yeah, like I was looking to see if there was like a blanket under her because I thought it was interesting that the other guy was kind of like,
thank you,
in front of the edge, you know. And if like they like pull the blanket up because she just slides, man. She just goes.
She was she was. And the fact that they ran out of there so quickly made me know that it was for real.
Yeah, clearly something pulled her, and I will say. My all-time least favorite motif in horror movies, and especially horror movie trailers, is the person getting dragged into the dark.
Yeah.
I hate every freaking movie does it. I'm just done with it. But that being said, she got yanked and ganked. I mean, something I can't say what it was, but definitively she did not pop herself off that bed. I don't care how strong her hips are, her gluteus maximus. She could have the most maximus, gluteus maximum. I mean, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
She went. I don't know what pulled her, but she went.
So what would you all say? That you think that was authentic?
It was an authentic yank. I can't say who yanked her, but she got pulled.
Yeah. She got pulled off that bed.
She got pulled off.
Like a blanket under or something. She went, man. She went for a ride.
So let's look at our last piece of footage, you all.
All right.
Before we do that, why don't you refresh your Kickstarter?
Yeah,
there you go.
Refresh it.
Let's see.
Oh!
What happened?
Congratulations! Woo! Double congratulations!
Gosh.
Look at that!
Oh my gosh!
What happened? What happened?
We
got 300 backers.
Yeah.
27,896 leather. Yep. We got the leather.
Oh my gosh!
We got the
Congratulations! Leather. Wait, Augie, did you do that?
I sure did.
Oh my God! Thank you.
I sure did.
Impact
I got the one that they're gonna have to draw me.
Oh, you're gonna be a bad. Oh, that's amazing.
We're gonna be vampire friends.
I'm totally gonna be your victim.
Oh, that's even better. That's even better. Dude, she's gonna jam you up, man. We're gonna do you dirty, and I mean that in the best way.
That is so you. That's so.
Yeah,
you.
we'll talk about what that's gonna look like, and oh my God,
it's gonna be brutal.
Oh,
yeah, we'll talk. I mean, I take care of my people, so if you want to get eviscerated, man, we're gonna.
I like that. If you want to get eviscerated, we'll eviscerate you.
Oh my gosh!
I'm glad I could help you guys. I'm glad I could help.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, man.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying not to cry. I'm such a crybaby about this stuff.
Oh, come on.
Oh my God, thank you.
You're welcome.
And you unlocked it for everybody too.
Everybody. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody.
You are the double hero, Augie. Woo!
Hey, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
I'm just really happy I could help. I was really convinced by the passion that you bring to everything. As someone who's new to all of this, this seems like something I could really get into, and I'm really looking forward to reading it and having my husband be looking at me strangely about why I'm reading all this crazy horror stuff.
Well, like, look, that's me. That's me getting ripped apart.
Right. He'll just be like shaking his head, I don't understand.
Yes,
well, shoot me a message on Facebook, or I'll get you my email whenever we're done. We gotta talk, because what I said, when the time comes, I want to make sure that your death is very satisfactory.
Excellent.
I want to make sure that you get, what you want.
I don't go down easy. Let me just tell you. I'm not like a.
No, right. That's fair. That's fair. Right. Putting up a fight and just.
Let me just,
a lot of them. We'll make sure Les gets the kill shot on you.
Excellent.
Let me say something about Augie and I that a lot of people don't know, that we've been friends for like over 30 years.
Oh my gosh!
And we started as friends, as actors. We were working on a set together, And then we found out that we both love horror, and that was it. That was it. It has been this way for the longest. I mean, we've always been in each other's lives, but the fact that I'm going to kill him speaks volumes. Because let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. One of the things that he has done is he has consistently taken me to bad movies.
It's true.
I've
taken you to so many bad movies.
Yes, he takes me to bad movies. He talks me into doing it because we worked together several times. Hey, let's go see this. Let's go see this movie. It's supposed to be really good. I don't want to go see it. I'll pay for your ticket. Let's go and see it. So we're going there and sitting there, and this is me throughout the whole movie. Looking at him through the whole movie, and I know
really good kills though happen.
Yeah, it does. Movies. It does. Really.
So,
good
Augie,
kills,
real quick, what's the worst? And I want both of your answers on this, but I want to start with you, Augie. What's the worst bad movie you intentionally took Les to? What's one that you knew you were just going to light
her up? The thing is, it's not intentional.
I don't
it's not
intentionally bring her to bad movies.
All right. What was the best bad movie you brought her to?
Oh, Jason X.
Yes.
Of course.
Oh, God.
Jason that's what you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, that's the one we were talking
Les,
about.
do you agree? No. Is that what's the worst one? Was that the worst one?
No.
Which one
it was Jason in Outer Space.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
That's X.
Oh, that's X? Yes, that was it. That was the one.
For the android with the fake nipple?
That was so awful. It was so awful.
Let me tell you, I spent an hour and a half watching a back behind the scenes YouTube video of Jason X just last week.
I will tell you, my headcanon is, what was it, like the first 10 or so minutes of Friday 13th Part 9. You know, like when like they set up the sting operation and they kill Jason, like with like the fake camp counselor.
Yes.
And then you splice from that, them killing him, blowing him up. You jump to the first 10 minutes of Jason X.
Yes.
And that's the end of the series. Like when they like wake him up out of like the cryogenic, you know, the deep freeze and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just when they wake him up again, he starts going on his rampage again. To me, my headcanon is the first 10 minutes of Jason, Friday 13th Part 9, the first 10 minutes of Jason X. That's how the series ends.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that is the movie. And Augie, seriously, man, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I like the costumes because they're so 90s. It's it's supposed to take place in some like future state, but they all have like, you know what? There was this phase in the 90s when women just had their midriffs that were bare, right? Everybody was showing off their belly buttons and all this stuff. So of course that's how women dress in the middle of the future when they're on another planet.
Right.
Yeah, they reverted back to nothing goes out of style. It's still the 90s, like in Portland.
Still the 90s.
Yes.
The 3000 90s. No, well, thank you. We'll talk. Like I said, shoot me a message. We'll get our information. We'll make sure we get you taken care of.
Congratulations, Dirk. Congratulations, Augie, for being.
Yeah, we've got 18 hours left too. So I mean, I'm gonna say right now for the record, no more stretch goals.
Oh, come on.
No, don't do this to me.
18 hours left. 18 hours left.
He was already having trouble.
18. You can do at least another game.
Hey, just make another video game.
Exactly. It's not easy.
All right. Oh, man. No, thank you so much. I look forward to teaming you guys up and doing something crazy.
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
I can't wait to see this.
For all this, just do it. Listen, I think we can end the show on that. We don't have to even go into our next footage because I think we can end the show on.
Oh my gosh! Well, thank you. Thank you.
Augie stepping in and I'm telling you, bro, you won't be disappointed. And then we'll have more to talk about too when we talk about the book and stuff like that. I can't wait until you start reading it. I cannot wait. Yes,
we might have to like slide you a PDF or some of the first volume at least, just to get you a teaser of what you're in for. Oh yeah, you message me on Facebook when we're done. We'll talk. And
it's gonna be one more thing for me to get you in trouble about.
Exactly.
Hey, remember, it's not hoarding if it's books. That's the first rule.
Mhm.
You can see my office here, you know, books everywhere. I mean, you even saw a small glimpse of it. And the other thing is your friendship and your love of horror is going to be immortalized. And one of the, God, I'm trying to get too emotional. One of the things I was talking about.
Stop, because I'm getting ready to cry.
No, I'll behave. I might go live later and lose it. But one of the things that has been so amazing about making comics is, you know, the friends you make along the way, you know, whether it be your readers, your collaborators. And admittedly, you can't always be friends with everyone that you were friends with when you started to when you carry on. I mean, things happen and things change. But you guys remind me of like my friend Kristen Perry, who did the covers to the Nightmare World series, and we've been friends about 30 years as well. And she's always had my back and stuff. And the fact that you guys bond over horror, and now that you get to be immortalized in a book with, you know, the vampire and then the victim is, and the fact that that became such an impact pledge and put us over like that and unlocked the leather bound for everybody, that's something very special. And I appreciate it. That's, you know, not only did you do for everybody else, but you did for each other. And that's cool, man. Thank you. And Les, thank you for bringing me on to have that opportunity. And Augie, thank you. I mean, the fact that, you know, that's the stuff that is cool to me. Getting to do the little Easter eggs and having people be in the book and things like that is fun. But the fact that I know you guys get to celebrate your love of horror movies and horror that way, I take that obligation very seriously. So thank you.
Definitely our friendship.
Yeah, definitely our friendship.
Well, thank you so much. It was my pleasure, really. It's always fantastic to witness a creative person who's doing what they love.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Dirk, I've said it before, you can see the passion in you. You can see that you actually love what you're doing, you love what you're writing, you know, and that's contagious. You want to support somebody like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because you know that you're going to be consistent, and you know that you're going to continue to do what you're doing.
And I'll tell you,
that Dirk Manning Cryptid worked again.
They did. That Cryptid scene snuck in. Traded you. And I'll tell you too, you know, real talk, the fact that, you know, Tales Mystery is like, I don't want to hijack the show. I know we got to get out of here, but I'll just say this. Tales of Mystery is like, if I had to write one book to its natural conclusion, it would be this series. A lot of people, Nightmare World's their favorite, or Hope's their favorite, and a lot of people, Tales of Mystery is their favorite, you know, and everyone has, when you do a bunch of books, people have different sentimental favorites. If I had to write one book for the rest of my career, and only one, it would be Tales of Mystery. And the fact that I'm 700 pages into this story, right? And I did the math the other day, and I'm going to grab my calculator here. I want to double check this real quick. So if this was a standard comic, right? 22 pages an issue. Yeah, we're looking at about 32 issues of a creator-owned book. That's not a unimpressive task.
No.
You know, and furthermore, I recognize what an honor it is to be 32 issues into a creator-owned series. You know, what a privilege it is. And
sure,
to everyone out there, to you, to both of you, to all of you who I know back the campaign and everyone doing this stuff, I just appreciate it, and I really want to continue to pay it forward. So, Augie, we're gonna jam you up, man. Awesome. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal. I can't wait to talk to you about how we're going to do this. But
excellent.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll get our creative juices flowing for this one.
Yeah, I know the beats of Volume 6 already, obviously, and knocking stuff over. I'm so geeked up over here. But yeah, it's really a privilege and an honor. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Augie. Yes. And Jordan says he's gotten to know you for over 8 or 9 years, and he doesn't regret any of it. You're fantastic.
Thank you, Jordan. Yeah, I appreciate it. You know, there's a lot of competition for people's attention and everything else, and thank you. I thank all of you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. So with that being said, you all, you can still go over there and support this. I mean, it's
17 hours.
It's still going.
Hours to go there, and
he's already at 301.
Yeah. Now you get
support
everything.
Yes, Tales of Mystery. You could go over and support it. That's all I'm going to say is I'm going to put this in here right now so that everybody can see it. Going right over to talesofmystery.com and go and support this. I mean,
that's the first time someone jammed me up on that live too, Augie. Well done. You know, look, I'm like, and I have it up over here. And I look. I'm like, what's up?
What's he talking about?
Bam,
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, that's it.
Thank
That's it. I knew he was doing something.
Yeah,
I knew he was doing something.
I didn't see the last video. It sounded scary though. It sounded scary.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't see the last video.
I tell you, sold that amazingly. You're like, yeah, you know, whatever.
Yep, you did very well. Well, thank you all for being with Dirk. Thank you so much for being here. You have made a new fan out of Augie, obviously. You know, coming in and saving the day. I mean, I'm just so excited about this. And like I said, as a friend, Augie, you will not be disappointed.
I'm looking forward to it.
You won't be disappointed. I'm not taking you to a bad movie now. I'm not sending you to a bad comic. And you know,
wouldn't that be the
I'll
best
try to stop. I'll try to stop.
Wait a minute, no. I love you for taking me to bad movies. Trust me, me being upset about it is really not that, because we end up laughing about it through the whole night.
We do.
We laugh about it. So, I mean, we have to talk about one of those nights where we were watching Jason versus
Freddy.
Yes, we have to talk about that.
That's not a bad movie.
Only Kelly Rowland is.
Kelly Rowland is pretty bad.
I couldn't wait for her to get killed. I like her as a singer, but as an actress, baby, no.
I bought that Friday the 13th Blu-ray box set when it was on sale. You know, I got that. And I told myself, I'm going to go through and watch all these in order. And then I got it and I realized, man, I do not have time. And as much as I love Friday the 13th Part 7, one of my all-time favorite horror movies, the first movie I pulled out was Freddy vs. Jason. Just to watch it again. And it is so bad, but it is so good.
It's so bad, it's so good. Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. But that was the first one I pulled out. I'm like, I gotta watch this one first, man. So
yeah,
that's a whole other show. I'd love to debate this whole thing.
Yeah, we definitely have to have you come back and talk about that, because he is a huge fan. Augie is a huge fan of that. I mean, to the point that we are actually going to go stay at Crystal Lake at some point and bring in somebody, to come in. So, oh yeah, Kane is
the best.
Kane is that was my one regret in that movie, was it wasn't Kane Hodder and Freddie Jason.
Yeah, it was really.
But still, yeah.
I have many thoughts about all the Friday the 13th.
We're gonna have to do
that. We have to do a Friday the 13th special and bring Dirk on for that. When Friday the 13th comes, we'll definitely have to talk about.
I'll tell the story about Kane Hodder petting my hair.
That is kind of sexy.
All right, we'll save it for next time. I gotta get you something to come back. Bring me back.
Y'all are crazy. Anyway, y'all, thank you so much. We will not be here next Thursday night.
Because it's Thanksgiving, y'all.
Right?
Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving.
For us who are Native American, it's a day of mourning for us, unfortunately.
Yes.
Because, you know, them dang pilgrims. So anyway, let's just say this. We will be back the following Thursday, and we're going to start our holiday festivities the following Thursday. And just a reminder, the Tingling Tea will be going to Tuesdays in January, Tuesday nights at 7:30. So just get yourself geared up to start following us for that. Tuesday nights at 7:30.
Tingling Tuesdays.
Tingling Tuesdays. Exactly. Tingling Tuesdays. Exactly. Hey, that sounds nice. I like that. All right. Yeah. So with that being said, still go over to Tales of Mystery. The Kickstarter is still going on. We've got still like 17 hours left. But Augie just saved the date so that everybody who just now has gathered, we got a leather bound book.
Yes. Leather bound. Thank you, Augie. Unleash the leather.
Yes, you did. You unleashed the leather. All right. Hearts to everybody.
Hearts to everybody.
Stay safe. Spend a lot of time with your family this holiday, and we will be back in December. Is that right? Yeah, in December.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Stay spooky.
Stay spooky.
Stay in the broadcaster.
Stay spooky.
Bye.